Hi guys, Aceface back with another Tyranid Tactics video. I'm back with the final part of the CAP system. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos. We've had some amazing feedback, so thank you very much. And thank you so much for everybody that's suddenly become a subscriber and that's started to like and comment the videos. The support we've had has been amazing and we're absolutely bowled over, so thank you guys. And if you haven't already, do please hit that subscribe button. We're pushing on to that 10,000 subscribers and we're moving at pace, and you guys can really help the out loads, so thank you very much. All the other links for all the other bits and pieces to become a wicked patron and support the channel even further are down below, and also the links for all the other videos within this series will be there as well. But anyway, let's jump into this video. And just briefly, if you haven't already, make sure you check out the other videos, because one, they'll tell you what the CAP system's all about, and I've already covered the control and the aggravate. Today we're going to talk about the final part, which is the power. And this is a fun one, and one that Tyranids are pretty good at. But like anything, the reason why this system's in place, and it does factor for other armies as well, but the reason why this system is so important for Tyranids is we don't work in one way. We work as a united front, and we have to put all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together to be really effective. It's not a click a button and win. We don't have that ability within the army. We need to utilize all the strengths and the strengths of the Hive Mind to be effective. So power, what does that mean? So these are the units that do one of two things generally. They are the units that are going to effectively kill off your opponent's hard hitters. They are the ones that are going to alleviate the huge pressure on your control units. That's their role. Their role is not necessarily to apply that early pressure. These are the ones that are just going after those key targets. Because if they don't kill those key targets, these are the key targets that are going to start to whittle away your control quickly. These are also the units that are going to very effectively destroy your aggravate units. And once those aggravate units go down, then you're playing the control versus control game, and then you're not always going to win that. So if you can buy your aggravate units more time to continue doing their job, which is just really irritate your opponent and get in their face, because these power units are taking out those key aggressive units and key units within your opponent army, then you're in a really good place, because it allows every part of your army to fulfill the role that it was designed and put in your list to do. So what units fulfill this role really well? Well, we've got some crackers in this category, but the two by far strongest units within this category fall to, first of all, the Exocrine. The Exocrine, big beastie. He has been seriously buffed in 9th edition. He was buffed by Psychic Awakening, but he just got even better. The fact that now he can shoot in combat makes him super scary. The fact that now when he moves, he does not have the penalty for moving, which means that he's always going to be hitting pretty well. Yes, he won't have the additional shots unless you use a stratagem or he stands still, but he is going to be continuously moving into the positions you want him to move and still working and function effectively. But at 36 inches with the new board sizes, he can straight away apply some huge pressure and really try and take out some of those key targets. So he's pretty tough, at toughness 8 with lots of wounds and a 3-up save. He's fairly resilient. If your opponent focuses him down, he will die quickly, which is why every other part of your army needs to fulfill its role. So the Exocrine and whoever else you put in this category do their job effectively. Because if you don't have those aggravate units that are really putting that pressure on and giving your opponent no choice but to deal with them, if you don't have your control units to be holding the centre of that board, then your Exocrine is not going to be able to do what it wants to do, because it's going to get focused down, because it's the one thing that's doing a good job within your army. If the other units and the other parts of your tactics are not working. So, but yeah, he can really apply some huge pressure. He can do a lot of damage. If he's Kronos, he's super effective. So this is where potentially you're starting to think about maybe taking a couple of different Hive fleets, because Jormungandr or Leviathan is very much going to give you that resiliency that you need for pretty much the rest of your army. But Kronos is going to make this power factor of your army much stronger. So Kronos is probably where he wants to be. That if you're going to maximize his output, that's where you want him to be. But he is incredibly powerful within that role. The next unit is the Hive Guard. Now the Hive Guard, in my opinion, are probably in 100% in the top 10 units in 40k. Maybe as good as in the top 5. That's maybe me overdoing it. Let me know what you think, but I think Hive Guard are so strong in 9th edition. Everything they give you is just amazing. 1, they have that perfect strength at strength 8. 2, they're able to ignore line of sight. And 3, now they are able to hide much more effectively. They're just super strong. There's just so many good things about them. They hit really hard, and they're really hard to get to, and they provide that power roll so well. And what they can do is, once the power units are gone, and maybe those power units can't deal with them, they can start then really taking out their control units as well. So they're just a frightening prospect for your opponent to be across the board from. And as long as you've built your army correctly with other units that your opponent just can't avoid dealing with, those Hive Guard are going to stay super safe. And I would say I love running them with the ignore -1 and 2 AP. I think that's where it needs to be, which is always the problem, because you know you potentially also need to be using that on the Tyranid Warriors, which yes you can do. But you know, you're just investing those valuable command points where you need to put them, which tends to be why the Tyranid Warriors tend to take a back seat for me in their kind of big unit form. But that's a video for a whole other day. But Hive Guard, absolutely amazing in that role. There are other units that do this pretty well. So you can now use the Tyranids. He's much better. The fact that he needs to be a lot closer means he starts to get into a position where he's closer to your control and your aggravate units, and he's kind of starting to push into those roles, not delivering any of them particularly well, which is where he kind of falls down. His kind of position within the army is kind of a little bit mixed up, but he still can be a lot of fun, and he still can be very good. And actually to have that power unit able to kind of do that counter offensive behind your control can be a really useful and effective weapon. So definitely don't write him off. I'm having quite a lot of fun with him. I also think Hive Tyrants, with the right setup to be able to punch back in a counter-offensive point of view, and also with a venom cannon, can also do very good work at dealing with big targets. They've got enough upgrades to actually make them quite killy in combat, which makes them really effective. The Swarm Lord can do this role well, but he can be very fragile, so you need to be able to really utilize him correctly and make sure you're able to use his power element really effectively. But he is good in that. Old One Eye, again, both these two characters can be used in the aggravate, or you can use them in the power. But I just want to give you guys options for combat, because I think combat is still important. We don't do it particularly well at the moment. Hopefully our new codex sorts that out. But at the time being, they're kind of your units for that. The Brood Lord is still very effective at being a power unit. He's very quick. He can quite easily scoot in there and deal with a key unit for you and take him out. So we still have some really good ones. But on the whole, for me, when we're talking about our power units, they very much fall in the shooting side of our army. They're the ones that are going to synergize really well. And if you like your assault element, just make sure you're investing well into your aggravate section, because you're still going to have loads of fun pushing these guys into your opponent's face and saying, deal with them. And that's cool, that's fun, that's very Tyranid-esque, and I love it. So definitely don't worry about the assault element. You can still have that in different regards. But if you want an army that is pretty much dedicated around assault, I think you're going to struggle a little bit to be super effective in 9th edition. But that's the end of this video, and concludes our CAP system videos. Hopefully you found that really useful. If you want to know more about any of the individual units, don't worry, we've got more videos coming up on specific units. So you guys have asked for that, they're coming. And we've got loads more tactics, not just for Tyranids, but for all sorts coming up as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Really interested to hear your thoughts and whether the tactics are working for you. But until the next video, I'm Aceface, and I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.